Hello students, welcome to ROSE project, the project conducted by Raya Shikshan Sanstha's Sadhguru Gadge Maharaj College Karad. Myself, Mr. Muske NP. My subject is chemistry. I am here to teach you topic number 4, chemical thermodynamics. Okay, so this is our lecture number first. Let us start with introduction. So basically thermodynamics, which consists energy and its changes. So what is mean by energy? It is a capacity for doing work. It is capacity for doing work. Let us see some examples related energy. Energy means it is well-known process of transition or transformation of phases. So let us move to the first example, that is if we heat a solid ice, then it is converted into liquid, and that liquid, it is converted into vapor phase if we heat. So it is transformation or transition of phase, that is solid ice, it is in solid phase, liquid phase, and vapor, that is in gas phase. So transformation of phase are there. Now another example is if we oxidize the carbon, that is C plus O2, then it is converted into carbon dioxide. That is, carbon consists solid phase and carbon dioxide are in gaseous phase. Okay, so these are the two examples. Then example number third is dry cell. In dry cell, that is chemical energy, it is converted into electrical energy. So dry cell basically used in watches and generally I think in remote. Okay, simple mechanism, chemicals are used and converted into electrical energy. So in thermodynamics we observe that energy transferred from one form into another form. According to these examples. So this is the definition of thermodynamics. The branch of thermodynamics are dealing with energy change accompanying in chemical transformation is called as chemical thermodynamics. That is, chemical changes and energy are interrelated. Thermodynamics deals with energy change and accompanied by chemical transformation or chemical changes called as chemical thermodynamics. Means basically in thermodynamics we convert electrical energy into chemical energy into electrical energy, then solar energy into electrical energy, kinetic energy into potential energy, and so on. These are the another or few examples related to chemical thermodynamics. Okay, this is the introductory part regarding chemical thermodynamics. Now let us move to the next point, that is basic terms used in thermodynamics. Okay, so point number first is system and surrounding. Okay, if you see the figure, in that figure we observe that consider any gas or ideal gas enclosed in cylinder fitted with frictionless and movable piston. Okay, then number first is system. So a part of universe under thermodynamic consideration called as system means, as shown in figure, a gas enclosed in cylinder, it is termed as system. It is termed as system. Okay, and point number 2 is surrounding. All other part of universe outside the system called as surrounding. Okay, now this is the simple basic difference between system and surrounding. I am explaining you. A gas enclosed in cylinder called as system or termed as system, and outside that cylinder, that is air present or other things are present, called as surrounding. Okay, so means basically system means it is anything in this universe. It is anything in this universe called as system. For example, hot cup of tea, it is system. A glass of water, it is system. A tree, it is system. A building, it is also system. And earth, it is also system. Okay, then system means anything in this universe under thermodynamic study called as system. And except system, all other part in this universe called as surrounding. So universe is made up of system plus surrounding. Universe is made up of system plus surrounding. This is the first two basic terms, system and its surrounding. Then point number third is boundary. It is separate system from surrounding. Boundary means it is a line which separate or distinguish system and its surrounding or system from surrounding called as boundary. Okay. These are the three basic terms involved in thermodynamics. Okay. This is our some basic terms. Now let us move to the next part, that is types of system. System can be classified into three types. As shown in figure number first, open system. Okay. In above figure, that is A part. Let us see the A part. A coffee which is exchange both energy and matter with the surrounding called as open system. Now, if you place hot cup of tea in a table, after some time, we observe that a temperature of that coffee is decreases and quantity becomes little bit less. Okay, then it indicates that matter and energy, it is transferred into surrounding, that is into air. Hot cup of tea placed in table is a system and surrounded by air. Okay, so hot cup of tea becomes exchange matter and energy to the surrounding. This is called as open system. Then type number 2 is closed system. Let us see the figure number B. Hot cup of coffee covered with a saucer. System exchange only energy, not matter, called as closed system. If you place hot cup of coffee or tea covered with saucer, we observe that temperature of that coffee is decreases or fall down as time passes, but quantity remains constant because it is covered by saucer. Okay, so it clearly indicates that the system which can exchange only energy, not matter, called as closed system. This is type number 2. Lot of examples are there in open system, closed system. Okay, now let us move to the next part. So in figure, a cup containing hot coffee covered with a saucer is insulated from surrounding. That is, it exchange only energy, not matter. Now type number third is isolated system. Isolated system. As in figure C, it is a system which can exchange neither energy nor matter, called as isolated system. Means isolated system, it's that system which do not exchange matter and energy to the surrounding, called as isolated system. For example, a simple and well-known example is thermostat. We know the principle or mechanism of thermostat. Okay, so in thermostat, hot tea remains hot and cold water remains cold as time passes. Okay, so it do not exchange energy and matter to the surrounding. So it is involved in isolated system. Okay, these are the three types of system, that is open system, closed system and isolated system. Now let us move to the next point called as properties of system. Okay, there are two types of properties of system. Number first, extensive property. Okay, so extensive property means the property which depends on amount of matter present in a system, called as extensive property. Examples are mass, volume, internal energy, heat capacity, number of moles. Means extensive property are only depend on quantity of substance or quantity of matter, called as extensive property. Okay, I am explaining you one property, that is mass. Okay, if you see 1 kg and 10 kg, there is lot of difference. Okay, so why? The quantity becomes in 1 kg is less as compared to 10 kg. Okay, so mass, it is quantity dependent or quantity dependent property called as extensive property. Okay, mass, volume, internal energy, heat capacity, and number of moles are the examples of extensive property. Then volume, let us see 1 liter and 10 liter. There is lot of difference between 1 liter water and 10 liter water, because 10 liter water having large quantity and 1 liter water having small quantity. So quantity dependent property, okay, called as extensive property. These are the examples related to extensive property. Then point number 2 is intensive property. A property which is independent on amount of matter present in a system, called as intensive property. Means quantity independent property, called as intensive property. For example, pressure, temperature, surface tension, melting point, boiling point, viscosity, specific heat. I am explaining you one property, that is boiling point. So boiling point of 100 ml water is 100 degree, and boiling point of 200 ml water is also 100 degree. Means quantity doesn't matter. Okay, so that's why it is indicated in intensive property. Okay, so simple difference in extensive and intensive are: extensive, it is a quantity dependent property, and intensive is quantity independent property. Okay, this is the two types of system or two properties of system, that is extensive and intensive. Now let us move to the next point, that is state function. So let us see or observe the figure. Figure consists two cylinders having some physical states, that is pressure 1, volume 1, temperature 1, and number of moles. Okay, so as shown in figure, certain amount of ideal gas or any type of gas enclosed in cylinder fitted with frictionless and movable piston. Suppose that initial state specifying following properties. Following properties means some physical properties called pressure 1, volume 1, temperature 1, and number of moles. Number of moles remains constant. So initial state specifying following properties, and this property define state of system called as state function. Let us see. For that particular ideal gas or any gas, pressure of that particular gas is 1 bar. 1 bar. Okay, volume is 1 decimeter cube, and temperature is 300 Kelvin. This is our initial state, and these initial state are specifying following property, that is P1, V1, and T1. So it is indicated as state function. Now, if pressure and volume increased by 2 bar, suppose 2 bar, and volume decreases by half, that is 0.5 dm3 respectively, then final state of system is different from initial system. Let us observe that final state, that is pressure 2, volume 2, temperature 2, and number of moles become constant. That is change in state variables or change in state, because we change pressure and volume. How much? Let us see. The final state of system described in figure 4.3 in following way. Pressure 2 is 2 bar, and volume 2, that is final volume, that is volume is decreases by half. So change in 0.5 dm cube. And final temperature, that is temperature remains constant, that is 300 Kelvin. Okay, so we conclude that a system continues to be in such a state as long as state functions are unchanged. It means that there would not matter while they are increasing or decreasing the pressure in a bar. Okay, now the definition is the property which depends on state of system and independent on path, called as state function. Means state function means the function or the property which depends only state of system, that is pressure 1, volume 1, temperature 1, or change variable, that is pressure 2, volume 2 and temperature 2, number of moles constant, that is only depends on state of system and do not depend or independent the path followed to attain, called as state function. Okay, so independent on path. So what is meant by path or path function? Now what is meant by path function? So let us see that the function or the property which dependent on path, called as path function. The property which depends on path, called as path function. Only two path functions are there, that is work and heat. Work, it is a path function because work, suppose consider an example, if you walk 1 kilometer and if you walk 10 kilometer, that is large difference. 10 kilometer work are there and 1 kilometer work are there. Okay, so heat and work, if you walk 1 kilometer, energy is lost, but if you walk 10 kilometer, lot of energy is lost during our walking. So work and heat are depends in path. So this is the path function. Okay, so this is our next point, thermodynamic equilibrium. Now as shown in figure, that is last figure, consider an gas enclosed in cylinder. It is a common sentence and movable pistons are fitted. The gas has initial specifying values, that is pressure 1, temperature 1 and volume 1. These are continued to be a constant with the time. As time passes, P1, V1 and T1 do not change. Okay, and no exchange of heat takes place. This is an equilibrium constant. This is an equilibrium constant. Means consider an ideal gas or any gas enclosed in cylinder fitted with frictionless and movable piston. These are the some specifying properties, that is pressure 1 and volume 1 and temperature 1. It is as time passes, P1, V1 and T1 remains constant or unchanged and no exchange of heat takes place. This is an chemical or equilibrium constant. Now let us move to the pistons in upward direction. So gas expand and passes through. Temperature, pressure, volume are not specified and continue during the movement of the piston. It means non-equilibrium state. Now the final step, that is stop the movement of piston. If we stop the movement of piston, that is piston becomes steady. At this stage, pressure 2 and volume 2 and the temperature is constant, that is T1. The state functions are constant, and when piston is motionless, it means that the gas is in another equilibrium state. It indicates that if we stop the piston, the movement of piston only at constant temperature, then value change will be pressure 2 and volume 2, that is final pressure and final volume. Then that state, it is shifted to another equilibrium because piston is motionless. Okay, so this is all regarding thermodynamic equilibrium. Now what is the conclusion of thermodynamic equilibrium? A system is said to be in thermodynamic equilibrium. Its state function do not change or do not vary with time. It means thermodynamic consider limited to equilibrium state. So this is all regarding thermodynamic equilibrium. So in this video lecture, we explain some basic terms involved in thermodynamics, state function, properties of system, and thermodynamic equilibrium. So this is all about chapter number or lecture number first. So thank you.